It's another beautiful sunny day here on the homestead, and we have some chores to take care of, as well as some updates to give on both the little girls and the big girls. Let's get into it. Here, inside of their tote brooder on the dining table, are the new bantam girls. They are now 2 weeks old, and a lot of them have a ton of feathers. They're already starting to roost on the roost bars, which is super impressive for 2 weeks. Some of the standard girls took a lot longer than that, but these girls seem to be maturing and growing up really quickly. They're now fully on a hemp bedding. There's no more puppy pads or anything like that underneath, which they are absolutely loving. As you can see, they kicked a bunch of it into their food, but they spend all day just scratching around, creating a bunch of different craters and divots, exploring the area and pecking around, having a nice time with all their little chicken instincts. And they're getting so big and full of so much personality already, which we love to see. Everybody's still doing well here at 2 weeks, all 7 of them. And it's really nice to be able to see some of their colors coming in. And overall, just doing really great. Really happy with all of them. Let's see how these big girls are doing out here. If you slowed down that video and counted all the girls, you'd realize that was only 14 out of the 15, because you can hear we have our first broody girl. This is Quinn, our green queen. We've read online that the green queens can be broody, and sure enough, Quinn is. She's been broody for a little over a week now. It's just really funny because we have these roll-away nest boxes, so she's not sitting on any eggs whatsoever, since all the eggs roll into this box, but she still has that mothering instinct, so she's been trying to hatch out eggs, and she's not harming anything. She sits in there pretty much all day, but when I let the girls out, she makes her way out, and we make sure she gets out of the nest box a couple times a day, gets some food and water, takes care of herself a little bit, and she goes on adventures scratching around, so doesn't bother anybody. But something interesting to note, I'm actually curious if anybody else has the same experience, is ever since she started sitting in this nest box, this one used to be the least popular one. It used to only get a couple eggs a day, but now, as you can see, we got 6 eggs in here. And now this bigger nest box used to be the one where everybody lays, much less popular. There's only 3 in here. So went from this one having the most to now this one having the most, and I'm curious if anybody else has ever experienced that with a broody hen, if all the other chickens start laying more in that box, which I don't know if it's because they just want to keep her company, or she's already in there and they just find it inviting, or another theory I had, and that's why I'm curious, is if all the other girls are laying their eggs near the broody hen, thinking she'll sit on them so that they'll hatch out, and so it helps out their eggs. I don't know. Just be curious to see if anybody else had that experience of a lot of eggs being laid near the broody hens. Let me know. Now those are our updates, both on the little bantams inside, and our broody big girl outside. Now we have to get to the chore time. So a couple weeks ago, we took off the tarp on this side, left this one up because the weather was still warming up, but now it is officially hot outside for New York. It's been over 80 degrees here, so we're gonna take off this tarp so you get a nice cross breeze in for these girls, because I've seen a couple of them panting around, so we're gonna go ahead and take that off and make it better for them. Let's get started with it. We've showed this in a previous video, but for those of you who haven't seen it, what we really love about this setup is that we can take on and off these tarps for the weather, whether it's cold or hot. We can take them on, put them on, take them off, put them on, whatever is needed. Super easy with just these ball bungee attachments. So all you gotta do, slide them to that. We just slide it through this metal mesh that holds everything, that keeps the chickens in, hold everything together. And you just take the bungees off, and then all you gotta do is slide it back on. And that makes it super easy to pop the tarp on and off whenever needed. So that's all we gotta do is pop a bunch of bungees off, and we can take the whole tarp off, easy peasy. So go ahead and do that and set you guys down with the chickens as we can take care of it. These ball bungees really are a lifesaver. Super easy, super quick. Got a 40-foot tarp off in only a couple minutes just because we just had to pop them off. You can see this is where the tarp used to be. Down here. You can see how much deep litter we've put into this run. How it's been kicked out and the tarp was holding it, but you can see all the dirt that has broken down from all the litter that we put in here. The girls have broken down themselves scratching around, but now it's a very completely open air, except for the roof of course, completely open air run. So now the girls will have a lot more ventilation, cross breeze from every direction, and should be a lot more tolerant of the hot weather to help them out and make them feel better. So easy peasy, like I said, reusable tarp, ball bungees, lifesaver. Jimmy's investigating it. These new smells of the tarp. What do you think, Win? Yeah. All in all, it's worked really well. Worked really great. Highly recommend it. Thanks for sticking around for our update and chores. And until next time, stay Pyrfect.